All right, good morning, fellow zebras, honorary zebras, those who want to learn more about Ehlers Danlos or are parents of special needs children and who are going crazy like me. I haven't posted, obviously, in a long time. As you can see, my channel has like nothing to it, and I wanted to do this so bad. But life, unfortunately, doesn't happen the way that we want it to. That is one of the biggest lessons that I've learned this summer. Now, if you're watching from the United States or from maybe other parts of the world, your children may already be back in school. Children here in Ontario, maybe Canada, I'm actually not sure. Yay, good Canadian. Our kids don't go back to school until September 3rd, which is the day after Labor Day. So that means I still have 2 weeks to go in order to be able to send him back to school to actually gain some of my sanity back every day. So today what I want to talk about is a very common topic that you're going to find between special needs children and people who have Ehlers Danlos syndrome. It is the one thing that we seem to have in common, and that's misdiagnosis. Okay, so I don't know about you guys with Ehlers Danlos syndrome, but I know that I was diagnosed way too late. Maybe you guys are lucky. Maybe you guys got diagnosed really early and were able to do preventions. The two things that, again, my son and I have in common are neither one have a cure. There's prevention. There is ways to deal with it. There's ways to cope. But there's no way that either of us are ever going to be cured. For me, it's connective tissue. Again, for those who don't understand, Ehlers Danlos is a connective tissue disorder, which means that my DNA does not properly produce the collagen that I need in order to keep my joints into place. It is very painful. It is not fun when you dislocate. It is not fun being in daily pain. Now, if you get diagnosed when you're a child, there's easier preventions. You can go to physio earlier. You can learn how to strengthen those muscles properly. You can get on the right meds in order to keep your pain reduced and therefore improve your daily living. Now, at my age, which again, as I've mentioned, now I probably don't have the young face that I did a while ago to be able to complement the fact that I have Ehlers Danlos syndrome and I have no wrinkles. Most people don't believe my age when I actually tell them. They guess me a lot younger. That's the one secret I like to keep because it's the only good thing really about Ehlers Danlos syndrome. So I was diagnosed, I think 3 years ago this month. Yes, it was. Sorry, I'm looking at the calendar. It was 3 years ago this month that I actually was diagnosed. Way too late in life because now all it's doing is progressing. Things are getting worse. More things are dislocating and it's getting harder on me. So basically what ended up happening is Grayson yesterday got diagnosed with the right thing. And so we have gone 3 years now with trying to get diagnoses. I don't even know if that's the right word. We're going to pretend that it is today. And if it's not, guess what? We just made up a word. Yay. So anyways, we went through and we got the diagnosis of epilepsy. We've gotten the diagnosis of tonsillitis. We've gone through and we got the diagnosis of ADHD. Now, that's where we thought we were done. We thought that ADHD was the worst that it was going to be. Epilepsy, right now, we are lucky, and the majority of it is being controlled by his meds. He has 3 types of seizures, and 2 of them are completely controlled. 1 of them isn't, but they're so rare now that they're basically controlled. He still has them weekly, at least, but could be multiple times weekly. So we thought, hey, this is the worst that it can get. Boy, were we wrong. Boy, were we wrong. This summer, Grayson started showing acts of aggression. He started abusing animals. Well, not started abusing animals because he did get bit in the face last year because he was progressively pushing a dog to its limits. But things just started getting so much worse. The inattentiveness, the impulsivity, the running in front of cars and running into streets and trying to do this dangerous stuff. But the biggest part that came to us was the fact that Grayson doesn't live in our reality. He really doesn't. He thinks that the shows that he watches are actually real. He thinks that, Paw Patrol can actually save the day, or Super Wings airplanes. Every time he sees an airplane, he thinks it's one of them. And no matter how many times we've tried to explain to him that that's not reality, in his brain it is. So we started to get more concerned. We sat there and started doing research. And we started noticing that there were more symptoms that actually added up to one of the worst things that a child can have. So we went through the networks. We went to the developmental pediatrician. We went to the neurologist. We even started going to something called Contact Hamilton, and they put us in touch with a family check in mental health area. Everybody agreed with us. They sat there and said, but we can't diagnose. It's too scientific. It needs to be specially diagnosed. But no matter what, everybody agreed that it all seemed to be the same thing after hours and hours of research and crossing our fingers, hoping that we weren't right. So we started going now back to McMaster Hospital here in Hamilton, and we ended up seeing a psychiatrist. Now, the psychiatrist, after only one single meeting with all the information from every other doctor, from the information that we provided, from the adoption profile that was written, everything, he easily did it. So the number one things that if your child presents with these symptoms, okay, before I tell you the scary diagnosis that we're now faced with, if your child is aggressive, abusive, if they have impulse issues, they can't think properly, they have short-term memory issues, they talk nonstop to nobody, to nothing, they make absolutely no sense about what they're talking about, because in their brain that they think that you're on the same page as them. Not living in reality, that is the scariest one. They don't respond to praise. They don't respond to consequences. Very angry, balling up the fist, swinging, hitting, kicking, biting, whether it be an animal, a kid, an adult. All of this adds up to something that is so preventable. Something that, unfortunately, women have been told that it's okay to do this one thing during their pregnancy. Now, you probably caught on to what I'm talking about. But the number one message that I can put through to women is, no matter how much you've been told that it's okay to have one drink every once in a while, that a glass of beer, a cup of wine, you can tell how much of a drinker I am, a glass of wine, a glass of beer, a shot once in a while in a pregnancy is okay. It's not. It really is not. Women process alcohol differently, and one single drink can do what happened to my son. So, yeah, if you haven't figured it out now, Grayson, because the word fetal and Grayson came in at the same time there. Grayson was diagnosed with fetal alcohol spectrum disorder, which means that there was apparent alcohol use during his pregnancy. So the time that he was in the womb, it could have been the simple fact she didn't know she was pregnant. That's what I try and hold on to stop myself from being extremely angry with her, because that is where the majority of women actually don't know. So I understand that sometimes it's not the woman's fault. I understand, but the consequences are so dire. Grayson will never lead a normal life. Grayson will always have problems. Grayson will always need help. He's always going to need constant support. He's going to probably be on meds for the rest of his life. Whatever problems keep arising, we got to somehow combat them, but Grayson will never live in our world. The thing with Ehlers Danlos syndrome is I can still walk around and normally be able to work, live, breathe, and do everything in my community. I can properly do it. I'm going to need help. I'm going to need supports, whether it be a person or braces or eventually maybe a wheelchair. But I can do it. I can navigate the world where Grayson can't. You see, fetal alcohol spectrum disorder, it's brain damage. I'm not going to go into the specifics. Another video, I will do a whole video on fetal alcohol spectrum disorder, seeing as though I now have certificates, I'm doing courses, many hours of research, and I have courses coming up. What does this mean for us? At this point, I don't know. That's the scary part, is I am an organized, very structured person. I like to know what's coming next. I like to be in control of things. I like to be able to write things down, make a schedule, make, everything like that, be on time. And I'm anal. I'm not afraid to admit that. But right now, everything has been taken out of my control. My life has become a whirlwind. It has become, try this, try that, try this, try that, try this, fail. Get up, keep trying, fail, get up, keep trying, get knocked down, get up. I'm exhausted. I really am. So yeah, I'm going to end this video for now because I've rambled on way too long. But the main thing that I can point out in this video is keep pushing. There is the research out there that you can do yourself. And I know that many doctors hate the fact that people Google. But in our cases, when it becomes rare diagnoses, when it becomes something that that there's something wrong, you're not a drug pusher, you're not a hypochondriac, something is wrong, do the research. Go to the doctor, find a doctor that's going to listen to you. Put the research in his face and say, send me to the right person. Get me my diagnosis, because until I get my diagnosis, nothing can be done. So whether it be brain damage in your child where you notice that something is wrong, thankfully, up until this point, now that I've been diagnosed and now fighting for Grayson, I have ended up with a wonderful team. I am lucky. If you're in my area, I can, help you. I can, give you the signs, the symptoms. I can do everything like that. I can try and put you in touch with doctors. I can do everything that I can to help. But you need to push. You need to find the right diagnosis. You need to be able to have support. You need the community. You need the right doctors. So please don't give up. At this point, I don't know how many times I have wanted to give up, but I'm still here. I don't know how I am still here. I don't know how I have survived because, honest to God, I am exhausted mentally, physically, emotionally. I am exhausted. I don't know what's coming next. But at this point, all I can do is try. So, how did you get diagnosed? How did you push? Have you not been diagnosed? Are your children not diagnosed? Let me know in the comments below. If you want to start a dialogue with me, I am more than happy. I really need to keep these videos up now because they're becoming more important. It's not just having a special needs kid while being a sick mom. It is now trying to keep sanity. It is trying to, keep the general public informed. It's my duty to help. So, subscribe. I promise now I will be adding more videos, but again, they will be by my phone because I've realized that my computer is so dinky, so whatever. I don't have an editing program, but I'm new. So, stick with me. Eventually things might work out, things might not. The phone quality may not be the best, but my information, I promise, will be. It'll be something that can help, you can relate to, you can understand and not feel alone. So until the next time, I really, really hope it won't be a span of 3 months or whatever it was. Have a great day. Enjoy the rest of your summer. And keep strong. Keep tough. And keep pushing. Bye for now.